welcome ladies and gents. So, we're off now to go and look at my Datsun 720 mini truck. Major restoration work happening. Let's get you a little bit more over, there we go. So today, really big progress. Supposedly, you've read from the title, front suspension, and also probably the thumbnail. Front suspension should be on. Massive work, like huge. So if you don't know, if you don't know, ladies and gents, I've got a Datsun 720 mini truck, which I had imported from Thailand. It's got an SR20 DT in it, and it's basically in for like a restoration, basically. So it's having loads of custom work done, and part of that was to get coilovers fitted. Now, that's part of what's happening today. We're going to go have a look at it, go check it out, see what we think, and obviously pay the invoice, which is never a good day. But it also means that there's more work to be done next month if I pay the invoice, so that's always good. So we're in my 370Z now, and we're onwards, we're going. There's like a long list on this invoice of stuff, so it'll be really interesting to see what they've actually done and whether I notice anything, because that's always the thing, isn't it? Like, you get these invoices from these places, and you're like, can I see that you've done that? But I do know that they painted all of the suspension components. That's really good. I didn't ask them to, they just did, which is, they need to, obviously, but it slipped my mind to ask them. That's all painted, stop corrosion, really good. I believe they've even tack welded in the rear suspension, which will be good. And that's the 4-watt Lynx kit. And then, but I think the front suspension is 100% actually attached now, which is, yeah, massive progress. I genuinely can't wait to see that. I think they've also sorted out the tailgate handle as well, because the latches weren't working. So what I've said to do is basically shave the tailgate handle off and hide latches inside, which should be really good. So we'll see. Multicolored chimney. I don't know if you saw that. Jesus. So yeah. So basically, we're going off to a place called Valley Gas Speed Shop now. I'll take these off so you can actually see my face. We're going off to a place called Valley Gas Speed Shop. Again, if you're new here, do hit subscribe. Stay along, because this is it's sort of reaching the end now, kind of, because there's not a whole lot else. Not like major stuff they need to do. And then hopefully it'll get painted, and then we'll do the custom interior, and then it'll come back, and that'll be epic. So it'll be really interesting to see what they have done. And then we're in November now, and I'm paying for October's work, and it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do in the future for this month, November. And then I guess I need to see when they close for Christmas as well. That'll be interesting. So anyway, we're off now. We're going to go. I've got to go down some country lanes, drive off over to Andover, which is where this place is. It's like a 40-minute drive. Go see the truck, show you it all, and hopefully be absolutely blown away. Be wowed. That's what I want. Because this is like, there's a lot of good stuff. The suspension coming on is like really big, because to me that signifies coming to an end of the build. And obviously this is stuff which I couldn't do. I don't have the skill set, and I don't have the tools either. It'd be good to learn one day to do welding and stuff, actual fabrication. I'd love to do that. But anyway, I'm talking nonsense. Let's go. Right, welcome ladies and gents. So I just thought I'd do a voiceover. So decided to completely shave the tailgate handle, which you can kind of see there. Welding's pretty good. I'm just sort of wandering around the truck basically. So we shaved the tailgate handle. We shaved the fuel filler as well, because we're going to have custom tanks inside the bed, because we had to obviously relocate the fuel tank for the suspension work, you'll see it as it comes up. It just wouldn't have fit. So we're just smoothing out all of these sort of latches and catches that would have been there. But this is the suspension. And I was slightly wrong. You know, I said, oh, it's just tack welded on. It's not. It's completely welded up now. And this is the 4 watts link kit for the rear. I'm so impressed with it. I'm so impressed with it. They had to do some custom work on it. They had to drop some of the plating and things like that. But these are the QA1 shocks as well with... I can't remember the springs. I think they might have been QA1 as well. But I'm genuinely impressed. It looks great. It looks really, really good. Solid work. They painted it all up. Yeah, this thing is going to handle so well. But as you can see, there's just no space for a fuel tank, annoyingly. Interestingly, the crossmember you've just seen, that's going to have a hole in it soon for an exhaust. This is the front. Again, it looks so good. When it came down, the articulation on it was unreal. Like, it's going to handle great. The steering rack you see there, that's actually an Escort one, because we're basically putting that in the car, so it has better steering, because it apparently works, and that's going to be a great modification to this pickup truck, basically. But doesn't that look good? Oh, crisp and clean and clear, and yeah, all painted. Now these bars that you see just running across now, they're going to be taken off, and a custom sort of a camber and caster adjuster is going to be put on. Another shot of the rear. Yeah, happy Nate's here with this. It looks great. So here's the truck bed, which you guys remember before. We've got the latch now installed with the key, for the compartment. So that's cool. Little compartment, nice. That'll obviously be done in Raptor liner black. You see all the welding that they've done in the rear. I try to show you here, but I can't really see, so I can put it inside here. They welded everything up. There's not a hole in sight. It is watertight now. That's the battery box, which is cool, and there's the latch inside. So we've got a new panel, obviously, you know, new plating inside and stuff, and that's the hole that they closed up, and you can see it, you know, pops open nicely, and that's obviously the dropped framework, which was really cool before. I still really like that, but it's all coming together now. I'm genuinely, yeah, I mean, I'm watching this footage back, obviously editing this video, super impressed. Super impressed. Now these tubs, they're going to obviously redo, make new tubs. Now that's all in, and they do a custom exhaust. That should all be fine. They can build inner tubs nicely, and it'll all sort of blend in quite well. They've got to do new engine mounts, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, but never mind. And we will be doing custom wide arch kit as well, chucked in there, gone over the top. So I hope you enjoyed all of this footage. I couldn't talk about it there and then. It was too loud, too much going on. But yeah, there's the fuel filler all sealed up. So on with the video. Right, ladies and gents, so you have just seen all the footage, the photos, I've done the voiceover, it's all been super professional. I'm now just trying to reverse out of this place. That was my bumper. Good times. Bloody annoying. Never mind. Oh, I'm so happy with it. So happy with it. Love it. The suspension. Oh my god. Yeah. So nice to see it. So I filmed it. Well, I watched it sort of come down, and the articulation go up and things like that. It's so good. It's so good to see it finally coming together. It's there's still a lot more to go, like 100% there is still a lot more to go with it, but boy oh boy is it coming together now. So the suspension was a massive part of it, and they still need to do, so for the suspension, the rear's done, it's all welded up, it's all done, the front's all welded up and it's done. Oh, GTR. But because there's no R35 GTR, because there's no A-arms at the bottom, what they're planning to do is box it in so it's stronger, and then create like an articulate, basically like an arm that will come out and stabilize it, but also allow for movement of camber and caster, which makes sense, because it makes sense. So they've got to modify So I bought this kit from Bibani Customs, Jason Pope, who like you can find on Instagram. I'll leave him down below. And he does the kits are admittedly like pretty damn decent. They had to modify some of the kits a little bit, but for the most part, they said the kit's really good, but some changes had to be done, and then they're going to modify and add a little bit more to it. And they're like, when we do that, the geometry will be perfect. So that's really cool to see. So that's the front suspension, sorry, because the back suspension's done, and it's so nice to see it. It just looks spot on. They did find parts of the frame, so that, you know, the chassis basically, they've ground down some holes and stuff like that. They need to tack in and sort of weld up some holes, but it's not major. I'm really impressed. You know, it's a 40-year-old pickup truck, and there's barely any rust. Like, it's in really good condition. You know, Thailand, because I had it imported from Thailand, it's kind of, you know, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? But for the most part, it's pretty bloody good going. Can we get around? We can get around. Whee! And yeah, it's good. Like, the frame's not that bad. There's just a little bit, some little bits and pieces. So, but it looks good. It's coming together. Now, they need things to do. We spoke about this. What are they going to do moving forward? And I'll give you a long list of it as well, because they're working out the job sheets for November. So I'll be able to actually tell you when it arrives. It'll be a sit-down talky video. I know, a bit boring, but some guys are interested in this, so just deal with it. But what we spoke about now is basically getting the outside of the truck done. Just get it completely done. Once we've got that done, then they can move on to doing other bits and pieces. So what they need to do now, whether it gets done this month or November, this month now, who knows? But what they need to do, they're going to chop off some cross members and create some like U shapes and bolts in and stuff, because they're going to do a new exhaust system and clean up the exhaust that was there anyway. I had this exhaust made. I thought it was pretty good, but they've had a look at it and said, well, look, I mean, the welding itself is like shitty welding. It'll rust. So we're going to clean that up, do some more welds on it. It'll be sorted, it'll be fine. But also they want to create, put in some oval parts of an exhaust, basically, oval tubing, which will mean that it can be a little bit more low profile. And rather than running up and over frames and, you know, like cross members and things like that, they're actually going to cut into the cross members, box them in, strengthen them up, so that they can run it how it should be run, basically, like, but properly build a custom exhaust. I think they're going to change the exhaust tips, but I do trust them. They're really, really good at what they do, so I'm happy with that. Once they've done that, they can then start to make the tubs for the wheel arches at the front, the inner tubs, basically. Because I had to cut all of them out because they were a state, they were an absolute mess. So they're going to do that, and this is still classified as the outside of the truck. Do all of that, and then they need to do custom fuel tanks, because when we did this custom suspension work, they had to relocate the fuel tank, but you can't relocate the fuel tank. So what they're going to do is add some weight to the back by putting fuel tanks in the bed, one either side, and have it connected. It'll look cool, it'll look cleaner, and just like the battery box and the compartment in the back of the bed, it'll be covered up to look like the truck bed, like the wheel arch, you know, in the bed, basically, with the rivets and stuff. So that'll look cool. That'll be really rad. From there, I think realistically it's something to do with like handbrakes and stuff like that. Pretty minor stuff. Sort the handbrakes out. They want to wire wheel down the underside, clean it up, spray it all down so it's nice and coated and sorted. And then I think that's the outside done. The underside done for the outside anyway. And then they're going to move into doing custom engine mounts, because the ones which are on there are custom and they're blown, so they need to do new engine mounts, which makes sense. It's probably why the truck was so wobbly and piece of shit. But it's good to see it come together. I'm really happy. I don't know why, but seeing that suspension just it blows me away. It makes me so happy, and I don't know why. Like, to me, that's a really big thing. Seeing it on the suspension, it's a massive step forward. Oh, one major thing actually, they're putting in a Escort steering rack, a steering box and stuff like that, because it works. It will match up nicely. They'll be able to just fix it up. It will be quicker ratio. It won't be sloppy like the current one, like the Datsun one, because obviously it's 40 years old and it's old and sloppy and shit. So they're going to do that. So good. It's so good to see. Yes. Outside of that, I don't know what to tell you, ladies and gents. When I get the listing through of what they're going to do, I'm going to do an updated video, let you all know. I need to go back up actually to drop off a clutch. The clutch that was going to go in the Pulsar, the GTIR, and a new bearing, clutch release bearing, because the GTIR one doesn't work in this SR20 DET, one which is in the truck. You need a different one, an upgraded different one basically. So I've got that. I need to come up and do that. So we might do like a mid-month update, I guess. But we'll see how busy I get, see you know how it's all looking and stuff like that. But I'll do an update video when I get the job list down. But it's really exciting times. I'm really excited for this. It's a huge step forward for the build. And I spoke again about roughly when this thing is going to be done. They're saying, look, I'm hoping to get it done and off the paint by February. So that should give you a good time frame. And then I should hopefully have it back by spring, summer, to enjoy for the summer, take it around to all the shows. So if you're in the UK, you're going to some car shows, the truck will be there. Really exciting times though. Anyway guys, thanks so much. If you want to follow along the build and get insider updates quickly before anyone else, follow me over on Instagram, Nate_car_nonsense. Follow the nonsense, follow the cars. Thank you so much, ladies and gents. Hit subscribe. If you want to support the builds even further, we've got Patreon down below in the description box. Love to have you on Patreon as well. Support the builds, choose your tier. Should probably include a Datsun truck tier, to be honest. We've got like Z, Micra, GTIR, Godzilla, all these kind of things, but should probably include a Datsun truck. Anyway, love you all. Bye.